Rooster Teeth News is brought to you by NatureBox. Snack smarter with French toast granola, sweet blueberry almonds, and more. Get 50% off your first order when you visit naturebox.com/roosterteeth.
Welcome to the new week, guys. I'm Ashley Jenkins, and Sony has announced the first limited edition PlayStation 4. For Japan, anyway. It's not yet confirmed for release in Western markets. On March 20th, they'll release a Metal Gear Solid 5 Grand Zeroes edition for 46,980 yen, which features a fox emblem on the gloss part of the console. Okay, so this particular special edition isn't anything you couldn't get with a simple decal, but it is the first of the new generation, so count on seeing more custom options from here on out. Metal Gear Solid 5 Grand Zeroes, which acts as a prequel to Phantom Pain, will release on March 18th in North America and March 20th in Europe. The Xbox version will have an exclusive mission featuring Cyborg Ninja Extraordinaire Raiden, and the PS version will have an exclusive mission in which you play as Classic Snake. This announcement follows the news that PS4 led hardware sales in the US for January, with Sony stating that it doubled sales of the Xbox One during that period. Sony's Guy Longworth elaborates, "Demand for PlayStation 4 remains incredibly strong as it was number one in sales for next-gen consoles in January, nearly doubling the nearest next-gen competitor." It's a bit tricky to figure out exact numbers because Microsoft declined to share their January hardware numbers, though reports support Sony's claim, estimating 280,000 units sold for the month compared to about 145,000 for Xbox One. It's up to individual platforms to decide whether they divulge their sales numbers, and Nintendo, for example, doesn't often share their numbers. However, this is an unusual move from Microsoft and is probably a bad sign for their Xbox One momentum. Microsoft is pushing hard for Titanfall, which the company believes will be crucial to Xbox's success. The beta for Xbox One and PC kicked off on Friday, and the developers Respawn Entertainment decided to throw out their carefully planned waves of tester editions in favor of total mayhem. Respawn's Vince Zampella announced, "Okay, just heard from programmer John Shearing. His words are, let's break it. So the plan is to make the beta fully open and have you max stress it." And so ended the brief beta key economy on eBay, where those lucky enough to get in early were selling their beta keys for as much as $40. The beta will continue until Wednesday evening at 6 p.m. Pacific time. Microsoft is also beginning to explore cheaper pricing for digital games, following feedback from gamers resentful that digital versions, which don't require production and can't be resold, cost just as much as full retail versions. Last month, Larry Hryb confirmed that it was on the company's agenda, and now they're beginning to do something about it. Microsoft's Mike Ybarra says, "Lots of people asked for better deals on our digital marketplace, so we're testing some." Between February 18th and 24th, Rise Son of Rome will be discounted to $39.99 in the US or £34.99 in the UK, with follow-up discounts planned for add-ons between the 25th and 27th in the run-up to their new DLC pack, Mars Chosen, on the 28th. Next up, Kickstarter CEO Yancey Strickler has confirmed that Kickstarter has been hacked, but your credit cards are safe. No credit card data of any kind was accessed by hackers. There is no evidence of unauthorized activity of any kind on all but 2 Kickstarter user accounts, he said. What was accessed were some usernames, email addresses, mailing addresses, phone numbers, and encrypted passwords. So the passwords aren't just out there, but even encrypted ones can be cracked with some work. So if you've backed any games or projects on Kickstarter, you may want to consider changing your password, just putting that out there. Other bizarre weekend fun included thousands of people all trying to play the same Pokemon game at once. An Australian programmer, who has chosen to keep his identity secret like any good superhero, set up the original Game Boy version of Pokemon Red on an emulator and created a chatbot that takes button press commands from a chat feed and executes those button presses in the game, which is being streamed live via Twitch. Now its 5th day, more than 75,000 people are watching and attempting to play through the game together, with occasional trolls thrown in for good measure. Unfortunately, because Twitch has introduced a slight stream delay, there's a period of time between the chat commands and their execution on the stream, but that doesn't seem to be stopping the hive mind for long. And based on the success of this stream, the masked programmer is considering follow-ups. He, or possibly she, says, "I'm always thinking of other games that could be adapted to an automated Twitch stream, but I don't think Twitch Plays Pokemon style of input would work with any genre that isn't a JRPG, so I'm thinking of a different input style that would be compatible with a wider range of genres." For now, the game of Pokemon will continue, with hopes that thousands of people all trying to do different same things will be able to overcome the Elite Four. And that's it for today. What other games would you like to see crowd played? Let us know in the comments. Then check roosterteeth.com later this week for another episode of The Patch to see what we think.